Hey everybody, welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And some of you might have noticed that this is the first video I've made in like 2 weeks time. Yeah, I took a little bit of personal time. Just needed to unwind, needed to really go spend some time with family, friends, significant other, and just really sort of take some time for myself. And it's been good. It's been a good 2 weeks. I've had some time to really sort of relax, unwind, catch up on some TV shows that I've wanted to watch that I haven't really had a chance to. And that's good, and we'll talk about some of that stuff in a little bit as well. But first things first, let's talk about Warships related stuff, because, well, like I said, it's been a while, and I have sort of not really done anything Warships related, so time to kind of catch you all up. And no, this is not my Richelieu gameplay. This belongs to Battleship Kentucky. Unfortunately for me, I have had, well, zero luck with the French containers. It seems hell-bent on not giving me a French mission, so yeah. Me and RNG containers just do not mix at all. Period. It's just every time I see anything with an RNG container, I'm just like, oh, that's not happening for me. See, I mean, it's like things like super containers, right? It's like, don't think I've ever really gotten anything out of my super containers. I still remember my really epic, containers back in the day when there was the Santa containers. I'm not sure if I have the server record, but maybe pretty close for getting Ishizuchis and Emdens. I still have a stock of those captains from back then, so yeah, oh, it was pretty painful. I just don't have that luck. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Something's up with my luck in World of Warships with RNG containers. Anyways, so yeah, not really my gameplay, but kind of a interesting look at the Richelieu nonetheless. There's some interesting things that if you watch, and I might try to point them out during the course of the gameplay here, where you'd be like, oh, that's kind of neat, actually. Anyways, moving away from this, sort of one important thing, I am going to be, I think, in the next little while, rejoining the Warships Community Contributor Program. Now, those of you who remember back in, have to be like August of last year, I was done with the CC program. It was not run very well, just there was communication issues, there were all these issues, and at the time, even after they said, hey, you're more than free to come back, I'm like, just when you guys work it out and you figure out how you want your program to run, then I'll consider it. And to the best of my knowledge today, the program has been reformed. Most of you should know that Sub-Octavian, on Reddit, and one of the guys that I've actually had a pretty decent working relationship with, he's kind of taken over the program. So, someone I can work with. And so probably going to get started on trying to rejoin the program and start getting caught up. Something I'll have to talk to him about, but, we'll see. But probably in the next little while, some of those ship reviews for new ships, or, things that are work in progress. Not a huge fan of that system still, but, hey, some of those things are going to be coming back. Although I do think I'm going to be... I think I'm just going to be more cautious about the pacing of things. I'm not going to overdo it like I did before, but we'll see how that goes. Going back to the Richelieu really quickly again, one of the things that you might notice about the Richelieu during the gameplay is you will notice the guns are also a little bit sort of just inconsistent dispersion wise. I think that's going to be sort of a curse for ships that are high velocity guns. High velocity, maybe not the best Sigma, you're gonna kind of see dispersion just be a little bit on the wonky side. There are times where I thought that, the Richelieu is definitely gonna get that really nice salvo, and it just doesn't really happen. And I think that's just one of those curses of these really sort of higher velocity weapons, although they do have their perks as well. The shell travel time is good, making it really easy in a way to hit targets downrange, so it's kind of a trade-off there, I guess. Moving on, had another video planned, did some research for it, And then somebody else came out with a very similar video. So for those of you who've been watching Binkov's Battlegrounds, he did a Iowa versus Yamato video a couple days ago. And it was actually a video that I was doing research for, just on my own, for like a Know Your Ship video kind of thing. So yeah, gonna be interesting, I would say. I think I'm still gonna do it anyways, even though it might be a touch redundant. But hey, who knows? Maybe I'll come to slightly different conclusions. Alright, so let me think. Was there anything other Warships related? Oh yeah, there was one other sort of funny thing about this. Some people are gonna listen to this and be like, the heck are you on? But just the other day, I was watching a couple of replays that people had sent, and I just happened to have been eating Chinese takeout, and I cracked open a fortune cookie. And lo and behold, the fortune cookie, whatever was written on it, had sort of something that applied perfectly to the replay in the email, right? So somebody said, sent me a replay, and they were like, "Oh, could you take a look at this? And do you have any advice?" And I was watching the replay, cracked open the fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie was like, "Improve yourself. Practice makes perfect." And I was just like, oh man, like maybe I should just start off like with my videos in the future with like the fortune cookie quote of the day and how it's related to the gameplay. Anyways, yeah, hey, I have every sort of so often a wacky idea that maybe never happened, maybe it turns into something, who knows, but it's still one of those sort of amusing things that have happened. And speaking of which, I think I will also have a video of just a couple of like some of these random moments that I had in the last few days when I did actually get a chance to play Warships, of just like randomly cool moments that I had. Although in one particular case, I actually did manage to turn pink for the first time in like a year and a half. I haven't gone pink in a very long time, but yep, just one of those battles where I went pink. Absolutely beautiful way to go pink as well. And I'll show you that all in probably tomorrow's video. And I think that is everything I want to talk about with relation to Warships today. Moving on, yes, for those of you who are asking me, hey, are you still playing Tarkov? Yes, still playing Tarkov. Although, for some silly reason, and this might just be because of optimization or whatnot, I really haven't been able to record Tarkov at the same time that I've been playing. The game just, it hasn't been too happy when it comes to frame rates and stuff. So, as much as I want to put out some more Tarkov content, it just, and this only happened like the last like 2 patches or something, where something's gone really wacky, whether it's like the RAM consumption or just sync issues or whatnot. Have not been able to record much there, although I'm still playing, and I have had some really phenomenal runs in Tarkov. Have had some bad ones for sure. I mean, that is how Tarkov is. You don't win them all. There are good chances that you die during your raids, but there was one particular scav raid that I gotta say came out with some really nice gear for what I had. I managed to get myself a 12 gauge Sega, and I was in dorms on the for those of you who don't watch and play Tarkov, I'm sorry that I'm talking about Tarkov. It's just a cool game that, cool stuff happens every once in a while. But anyway, so yeah, I was dorms, 3-story dorms. I was on the 2nd floor, and I was teamed up with like 2 other scavs, and unfortunately they got killed. So I was like, okay, my buddy just died on the stairs here. I think these PMCs are gonna come and try to check his body to see what he had. So I just stayed in that staircase and I ambushed the crap out of 3 fully geared PMCs. Fantastic. And once I was done and I killed the 3 guys, my hands were shaking. I had, honestly, I've never played a shooter where, and I've played a lot of shooters, and in most cases, shooters just don't get me going adrenaline-wise, heart rate-wise, anything like this. But Tarkov, I killed those three guys, and I could just, my hands were shaking. I could barely control my hands. My heart rate was just racing. I was, whew, it took me a good, like, I would say like 60 seconds, maybe more, to just like kind of force myself to calm down. That was one hell of a raid. One hell of an experience. And for those of you who are looking for that kind of thing, and again, not for everybody, you know, especially if you have like heart conditions and things like that, I'm pretty sure the game's not for you. But for those of you who want that sort of heart pumping, adrenaline racing, tense shooter, you know, and you haven't looked at Tarkov yet, I seriously think you should give it a go. Moving on, and well, before I talk about TV shows, there's one other thing. If you're living in Asia, of Asian heritage, happy belated Lunar New Year. I hope you guys got to see your families and had, you know, time to spend with them and all that. For those of you, and again, this one I'm not 100% sure on, because I'm not sure if the red pocket thing is a distinctly Chinese thing. It might be. But, you know, for those of you who do get red pockets, I hope you got some goodies there. Oh, by the way, look at that spread on that broadside Montana. Damn you, Richelieu, for being so inconsistent. Just kind of reminds me of Roma, too. High velocity guns, they just... aggravating. Aggravating is a good word. Anyways, okay, so, TV shows I watched. Right, so, during the course of the break, I was able to catch up on Star Trek Discovery, the second chunk of Season 1, which I think is better, in my opinion, than the first chunk of Season 1. So, Season 2 was kind of neat. The whole parallel universe thing was kind of cool. And, yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked it. But at the same time, it just... at the same time, it just was a little bit odd. Is that the best way to even put it? It was a little bit like, what? You know, I had a few moments of that for sure. You know, and especially now with like Season 2, I think that's already been confirmed. It's just like, who's supposed to be the main like character? You know, typical Star Trek, you know, there's always like the captain who is supposed to be the main character, and well, the main character is kind of gone. So does that mean now we get another new lead actor or actress to be another new captain? Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one in that regard. And by the way, detonation right on cue. Sometimes you just need it, and RNG does give it to you in Warships. You know, hey, you need a detonation, here you go. You know, and all of a sudden battle can last just a little bit longer. But anyways, I mean, yeah, so Star Trek Discovery, I kind of like that second chunk, but again, now I don't know what's going to happen in Season 2. Because, you know, if Saru is going to be the main captain, like, count me out of this damn TV show already. Because there's no, I don't like his character. Let's just leave it at that. Now, aside from that, the only other TV show that I watched, and this one I did like, although yes, it had some flaws, but I definitely did like it, was Altered Carbon on Netflix. That is an interesting TV show. By the way, we know that there's a destroyer camped up in smoke over there. There's Richelieu's on low HP. If you are in a destroyer and you have the broadside of a battleship like this, spam AP. You will kill it a lot faster. Don't shoot HE, it's not going to work that well. Go AP and you're going to do a lot more. Okay? Important thing to remember. Alright, so back to Altered Carbon. For those of you who are into sort of sci-fi, I think you're going to like this. I really do. So, you know, if you're looking for like a new sci-fi show to watch, look it up. Altered Carbon. For those of you who are like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm not interested unless you give me a little sort of quick rundown. Okay, so a quick rundown kind of goes like this. Show is set sometime in some place, sometime in the future, where technology has been created where it allows the human consciousness to live on even after our physical bodies have died, right? Um, and so essentially, you know, if you are wealthy enough in the society, you can essentially live on forever. Now, within that framework of sort of the basic premise of the show, they're able to wrap in like a mystery, which is cool if you like mysteries and stuff like that. But I found it more interesting that they went ahead and explored a whole bunch of really, really neat little themes. Themes that you kind of see in books that you read in like high school English, right? Okay, I get it. I know high school English is kind of a terrifying time. Reading books that you didn't really understand. But I think it's cool. Might be because I'm biased. I'm an English teacher, kind of, so maybe that's why. I don't know. I personally think that English as a class, especially when they had you read like those sort of deep literary novels, with those really deep themes, that it was a cool experience. Like, it's a cool thing to look at. And the TV show kind of does that too. They look at things like, is, for example, mortality a good thing? If we were actually immortal, does it change what we are as a species? Like, do we stop being human, right? Just really, really cool things like that, and it's like, I was like, that's a neat show, and really looking forward to season 2 right now. So for those of you who are like, need a new TV show to watch, is there anything out there? I would say give that a go. Some of you might just be looking at me right now and being like, come on, Chase, you're like way behind the times. We're so far ahead of you here. And if that's the case, I apologize. Like I said, I don't really normally have that much time to follow TV shows and watch stuff. And this was just one of those sort of occasions where I had some time and I was like, I wonder if something is good to watch right now. And kind of stumbled on it and off I went. Anyhow, that's it. That's everything I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to get you all caught up and, of course, sort of update you all as to what's coming up content-wise and, what are some of the plans in the near future. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed me talking about random crap for like 18 minutes. Yeah, I mean, if you got any comments, thoughts, hey, if you're watching some of those shows and you have an opinion on them, let me know in the comment section below. We'll love to hear from you. Oh, if you have any suggestions as well, do let me know as well. If you've watched like another TV show that's kind of similar-ish, at least theme, story-wise, okay, maybe not story, but theme-wise, to like Altered Carbon, things like that, let me know in the comment section. Be something I'd be interested in exploring more. And finally, with regards to the battle in itself, well, it ended up being quite a bit closer than it needed to be, because, I mean, really, the enemy team had a huge, absolutely huge numbers advantage, and, well, it's kind of shocking that it ended up being a 2-on-2. Of course, the enemy team did have the advantage of having the destroyer, who was smart enough not to really engage. Had the destroyer actually appeared and gotten deleted, this battle could have actually gone in Battleship Kentucky's team's favor. The Curfirst is actually going to lose against Montana plus Tirpitz. I know. It's like, what? Just those things that happens in World Warships. And really, I mean, seriously, the enemy team at one point I think had more than double the ships that was on Battleship Kentucky's team, and it should have been a foregone conclusion, but it just, nope. Sometimes. Alright, folks, well, I hope you all have a very, very good Monday, and I know Mondays are never fun. I personally never really like Mondays, but hey, you do the best that you can, and so I hope you all have a very good Monday, and I will of course see you all in tomorrow's video, where hopefully I will have some kind of fun moments to show you from the last little while of me playing World of Warships. So until then, take care, have yourselves a good one, and I'll talk to all of you again really, really soon.